Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the damped system under harmonic motion of the base. So in the previous tutorial, we talked about the case where the system was experiencing an external harmonic force. But this time, there is no external force exerted on this mass, but instead the mass is connected to a base which is not stationary. The base is something like this sine wave. You can suppose it to be something like a bumpy road. So if a car is moving over a bumpy surface, then this mass is going to oscillate. And what we are going to do is to find what the response of this system is going to be. So this is the general form of the equation of motion. And the solution of this equation gives you the response of m. And I know that you might get confused about how to derive this equation and find the sign of x and y. And I'm going to talk a little about it. So previously we know that x and x dot need to be positive when they are written in this form. So mx double dot plus cx dot plus kx equal to 0. That was the general form of the equation of a damped system having free vibration. But now not only the mass, but also the base is going to move. And I want to draw your attention to this point that when the mass is moving upwards in the positive x direction, the spring is going to elongate. And that is having a similar effect as if the base was moving downwards. So the base moving downwards or the mass moving upwards, both of them result in an elongated spring. So that tells us that x and y are having opposite effects on this mass, and the force exerted by this spring is calculated as k times x minus y. And we can have similar result about the damper. So mx double dot plus c times x dot minus y dot plus k times x minus y equals 0. This is the general form of the equation of this system. And I have taken an example from the book by Professor Rao, and I'm going to solve it both using ODE45 command in MATLAB and also using Simscape. So suppose there is a vehicle with a known mass and it has a known spring and a known damper, and it is moving over a bumpy road, and we know the amplitude of oscillations of the road. So I'm going to start coding. As always, I type close all clear CLC. Now, m of the vehicle was 1200 kilograms and the spring constant is 1400 kilonewtons. So here it says the spring has 400 kilonewtons per meter. So 400 kilonewtons per meter. And it didn't directly give us C, but instead it gave us the damping ratio. So zeta is 0.5. And in order to find C, we have to pay attention that C is the critical damping coefficient times zeta. Now, what is the critical damping coefficient? It was 2 times m times omega. And in the previous tutorials, I explained all of these variables. And the natural frequency of the system is the square root of k over m. So if I run, okay, so now I have found C. And the road surface varies sinusoidally with an amplitude of 0.05. So y is 0.05 and it has a wavelength of 6 meters. And in order to find the relationship between wavelength and frequency, I searched it, and here you can see the equation. V is equal to lambda times f. So lambda is the wavelength and f is the frequency, and v is the speed of the vehicle, which is 20 kilometers per hour. So v is 20 kilometers per hour. I convert it to meters per second. So I multiply it by 1000 and divide it by 3600. And lambda was 6 meters. Now f, according to this equation, is v over lambda. Is v over lambda. And omega, which is the angular frequency, is 2 times pi times f. It is in radians per second. So if I run it so far, everything is so good. Now, I don't expect to find an analytical solution using the solve command for this equation. you can try it yourself. So I'm going to go for ODE45. So t comma x is equal to ODE45 of, I need a function, then I need time span. I go from 0 to 10 seconds, and the initial conditions, I take both the position and velocity to be equal to 0. And now I only have to define the function. So dx dt is equal to f of t comma x. And I have to repeat my constant variables in this function too. And I have to write the equation. So dx dt is equal to, if you do not know how to write this equation in the space representation, please go watch my tutorial on ODE45 command. So I'm not going to explain it here, but I know that the first element is going to be x2 and the second element is going to be x double dot. So okay, so let me explain it a little. So what is x? It is a vector consisting of x and x dot. And when we differentiate it with respect to time, then dx dt is going to be x dot and x double dot. So now I have to write x dot and x double dot in terms of x, and x2 was x dot and x double dot has to be written using this formula. So x double dot is this term going to the other side and divided by m. So it is something divided by m, and now it's negative c times x dot. Negative c times x dot was x2 minus y dot minus k times x minus y. And instead of x, I have to write x1. So what are y and y dot? Y is this equation, y times sine of omega t, y times sine of omega times t. And y dot is y times omega times cosine of omega times t. It is easy to differentiate this equation, so I did it manually. And now if I run the equation, I am facing an error. Let me see where it comes from. So okay, I guess I need a parenthesis here. Okay, since I named this function f, I cannot use f as frequency, so I rename it as freq. I press F5, and maybe I can plot t comma the first column of x, which is going to be the position. I press F5, and here is the result. And if I zoom in, I can see that it is 0.055, and this is the desired answer of the steady state amplitude of oscillations. And I'm going to run the same system in Simulink. So I open Simulink and I look for Simscape. Okay, so in the previous tutorials, when I wanted to simulate mechanical vibration systems, I went to the mechanical library. But under mechanical sources, there is no block to simulate an ideal motion of a surface. So instead, I have to go to another library, which is called translational. And here, under sources, I have a length actuator. And this block can make an ideal bumpy surface for me. So that's the only way to do that in Simscape right now. From the elements, I add a mass, a translational damper, a translational spring, and a translational world, which is just a reference frame. So I press Ctrl-Shift-R for these two blocks, and this is going to create my bumpy surface. So it asks for a signal, and I create a PS sine wave, and the amplitude is 0.05, and the angular velocity is omega. Since I have omega here, I do not need to type it manually here, but if you're modeling, you can enter 5.8178 manually. So this is the equation of the surface, the oscillations of the road. So then I am going to connect my damper and the spring to the road, and I also connect my mass to them. I also need a position sensor. So under sensors, I find a translational motion sensor. I set it as an absolute position sensor, and I connect it to my mass. A PS Simulink converter and a scope to display the results. I set damping coefficient equal to C, and the spring coefficient to 400 kilonewtons per meter. And the mass was 1200 kilograms. Don't forget the solver configuration block, and I press Ctrl-T to run the system. And now that I have run this, I can see the oscillations, but this graph is not exactly similar to the one that MATLAB gave me. And the reason behind that is it did not start from zero position, and that's because MATLAB is taking into account the length of this spring. So if I take this spring to be an ideal spring with no length and no rest length, so I set both of them equal to 0 just to neglect the length of this component. And now I can run it again. And okay, here if I zoom in, I can see that I come up with basically the same result as the previous case. If you want to increase the precision of your result, you can go to the settings of the solver details and, for example, reduce the maximum step size or reduce the toleration, the tolerance of the solver. I press Ctrl-T, and here we go, 0.055. This is the answer that I think we came up with. Yeah, here it is, using ODE45. And I'm not going to stop here. I just want to show you how to ask for the force exerted on this mass. And if you look at the free body diagram of this mass, there are only two forces acting on this mass. One of them is the spring force and the other one is the damper force. And you know both of them. So F is equal to C times x dot minus y dot plus k dot x minus y. Actually, it is the absolute value of the force. Since the force is downwards, if we want to be more accurate, I have to add a negative sign behind all of these terms. But forget about it for now. Here in the code, if I want to find the force, I write F is equal to C times X dot, which is the second column of X, minus Y dot plus K times X minus Y. And X has to be the first column of X actually. But what are Y and Y dot? I define them as functions here. So Y is, let me define it as a function of time, Y times sine of omega times t. And Y dot is again an anonymous function of t equal to Y times omega times cosine of omega times t. So instead of Y dot and Y, I know these are functions and I can find them for every moment. So t is a column from 0 to 10. It is consisted of all the times of the solver, and that's the same for x. So x is actually two columns. The first column is the position, the second one is velocity. So these are basically x and x dot. So here, if I run, okay, I came up with no errors. Now if I plot t comma f, I run it here. So here I can have the force with respect to time. And if I do the same thing using Simscape, I add a force sensor. Okay. I connected to this signal and I press Ctrl I, P as Simulink converter and a scope block. Now I hit Ctrl T, and if I double click on it, here you can see a similar answer. So if I zoom in, I can see that the steady state amplitude of the force is equal to 2235. And here it was basically the same answer. And that concludes this tutorial. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again next time, and bye bye.